So I want to talk to you a little bit about the options for speed changes, working on the timeline. I know that there's a time remapping option under the basic effects, but it's actually much easier to do it on the timeline. First of all, and I've shown you this before, you can change the speed of the whole clip. And if you control click or command click, let's control click on the clip, you can go to speed duration, and you can get a dialog box that allows you to change the speed of the whole clip. I'm not talking about that today, although that's a perfect option. I will cancel that. Instead of control clicking on the entire clip in a neutral area, I have opened up the clip, and I can show you that when it's closed you don't see this, but when you drag with your the ball of your mouse over the name of the track, it opens up the clip to see this line, and this line is a variable control line. It can be used to control opacity, it can be used to control time, and if you control click on the tab that says effects, it's like a little badge, you can find out what it is currently being used for. Is it used for the motion, the scale, a lot of options here, the opacity, or time remapping speed. We're going to do time remapping speed today, so I'm going to click on that, and now I see a white line area in addition to this thin line. I'm going to open it up even further so we can really see what we're doing, and let me just play this clip by pressing the space bar, and you'll see that the water is moving at this speed, right? And it's a mirrored clip, but that doesn't matter. So I might stop and say, okay, at this point I want the clip to slow down. So there are various ways to add keyframes. Normally we can just go get the pen tool on the side and click on the line to add a keyframe. But I've noticed I've had trouble doing that today, so the other way, the backup way, is to come over to the keyframe indicator, add remove keyframe on the timeline. And I'm going to click once, and it gives me a diamond or shield-shaped badge. And that's where I'm going to start my effect, and then I'm going to move the playhead to another area, and I'm going to add a keyframe, and now it's changed because I've already added one keyframe, it's changed my tool to the pen tool, which can add keyframes. I was not able to do that with the pen tool before, but now I have a pen tool with a plus, so if I click on the line I will have another keyframe. Now what I can do is I can get the move tool again and drag down that time in between the two keyframes, and the further down I drag it, you can see it indicates this percentage of speed. Right now it's 38%. Let's go to 35%. When it does that, it has to stretch out this area of the clip in order for it to be 38%. So now if I move from the speed to this speed, we can see a difference in the speed of the clip. It's a little jittery, but that's okay. We're just dealing with speed ramping at this point. Now, what if you want that to be gradual? To be gradual, we can grab the badge up here, or the indicator, and slide part of it to the other direction so that the change is more gradual. So now that I've split that shield, we can see that it slows down more gradually. I could also decide to get that pen tool again, put in another, actually I'm just going to do, I'm going to do two. I could also choose to raise the speed. It doesn't have to go slower. It could actually raise the speed so that all of a sudden it's going kind of fast. And again, that would have to shrink up the clip right there. There we go. So now we're going to have a little blip of speed there. So slow down, slower, 38%, and we're all of a sudden going to go faster than 100. Whoop, there we go. So this is a little bit of an indicator as to how you do time remapping on the timeline. And remember that you can also control click and change the keyframing, and it'll be a new set of keyframes to opacity or motion changes like scaling or position. We can also double click this clip, bringing it up in the source window, look at the effect controls, and see that we actually have these keyframes indicated in this chart up here. But it's very easy to do it on the timeline.